We had in the first two parashiyot of the Torah an ocean of information that we usually get disregarded and caught up in the whole ordeal of things. By the way, this shiur is dedicated to Ilui Nishmat Shabbatai HaKohen Ben Flora. Shabbatai v'Yosef Ben Flora HaKohen, which was like a second father to me, a Holocaust survivor. So, HaKadosh Baruch Hu speaks to Cain, and he says to him, "Ma'ur ata min ha'adama," you're going to be cursed, and so on and so forth. And you should work the land. Of course, it's very interesting. The earth, the land itself, gets a punishment or somewhat of a downsizing because it opened and saturated the blood of Cain. As a result of that, Cain, aka mankind, will have to work the land in order to get food. And I guess until that point, man didn't have to worry about it. You take fruit, everything is full of fruit. Now you have to do something about it. So every time we do an Averah, we take away some of the divine abundance that comes down to us, and now we have to, to maintain life, we have to work for it. So, which is true to many things. Many things in life, if you don't appreciate it, and then it's taken away from you, now you want it, now you have to work for it. Before you had it for free, now you have to work for it. You used to come to Yeshiva to come to learn. Learning. All of a sudden you go to college, you go to work, you go to college, you get married, you give birth, whatever. Now you want to learn, now you have to hire somebody to learn with you because you can't do this alone anymore. So enjoy it while you have it. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells Cain, you should work the land, and Navana tiyeh ba'aretz. You should be a nomad. That's what you're going to do. Navana tiyeh ba'aretz. You're not going to have a place for you to settle. You're going to roam the land. It's bad. It's not bad. It's not bad. However, what does Cain do? He doesn't do that. Cain doesn't do that. Cain goes, Vayitzeh Cain milifnei Hashem. He goes out from Hashem. Immediately, Vayeshev be'eretz Nod kidmat Eden. He sits in the place of Nod, east of Eden. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, you roam the land. He doesn't do it. HaKadosh Baruch Hu turns around his back. They go, hey, goodbye, good luck. Boom, he's sitting down. I think it's pretty bad, isn't it? I mean, right now you just killed someone. HaKadosh Baruch Hu told you what to do. And what do? You do whatever you want to do. And what does he do after that? You say you don't remember. Because you get caught up in the big production, in the heaven, and Kail, Chava, the snake! Oh, the snake! The mighty snake that possesses us, but we miss a lot of things. And then it says, Vayida Cain et ishto. Cain got intimate with his wife, and she got pregnant, and she gave birth to Chanoch. And then it says, Ve'i bonei ir, and he built a city. Who built the city? We build a city on rock and roll. You know the song? We built this. It's from the 80s. Terrible song. Terrible song. Who built the city? Ve'i bonei ir. Who? Cain built the city. And how do I know that? Because it says, Vayikra et Shem ha'ir keshem beno Chanoch. And he built the city. That's the first time in history, mankind, that they built a city. So you could see from here right away that cities are not always the best thing for mankind, especially when they start against God's will. When a person is a nomad, there is a certain romantic aspect to being a nomad. You know, you go from one place to another, you make bonfires, you sleep in tents, but you have a lot of time to be alone and to really think about what you're doing, what you have done, where you're going. He didn't do it. He built a city. And in that city, of course, that they had Yuval, and Yuval was the first musician. He was holding a kinor. We turn to translate it as a violin. However, it's not like the gypsy violin that we have here, Stradivarius violin, That wasn't the case. It was, I guess, a different instrument. Probably it was more like sitar. I mean, why would I say sitar? Because if you look at ancient cultures, especially from the East, but also in Africa, that they have music that are instrument music, those instruments tend to have like a little buzzing sound to them, whether it's the Chinese lap harp that they have, or they have like a buzzing sound. Violin does not have a buzzing sound, but never mind, that's a different inyan. Ugav in modern Hebrew is being translated as a what? Ugav? Ugav, Ayin, Vav, Gimel, Bet. What's Ugav? What did Johann Sebastian Bach wrote, for what instrument did he write his Toccata and Fuga? Organ. However, it's not an organ. Ugav, Mishon Ageva. Ageva refers to the buttocks, the back, it's like La'agov is to have, like Agvania. Agvania is a tomato, refers to the bottom part. So I guess it's some instrument that arouses a certain feelings in the person. That's the Ugav. So, and Tzila also had a baby, and his name was Tuval Cain, and he was a craftsman. He worked copper, Copper Age, and then they had Iron Age, and so on and so forth. And by the way, Rav Avigdor Miller says, if I'm not mistaken, he says, you see, from all these people of Cain, nothing really stays. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we tend to worship all this, but really, it's all the descendants of Noach, not the descendants of Cain. That, I guess HaKadosh Baruch Hu is has a different list of priority of what's important and what's not important in life. But then we turn the page, and you have the whole entire thing, and we turn the page, and we turn the page, and we turn the page, and we can another other pages, and we get to the story at the end of Parashat Noach of another city. And that is the city of Babel, the Tower of Babylon, of Babel. Also, not such a great idea. The Tower of Babel, and not for nothing, it says that we're going to let's build us a city, and the city of Nineveh and Kelach, Ha'ir Agdolah, and it's all about cities and cities. And this is really in history when they start really forming those state cities. What we always talk about. That's in Mesopotamia, this whole area, and the Tower of Babel is very interesting. Why? Because in the Tower of Babel, they say, "Boyomu hava nivne lanu ir." Let's build us a city. Umigdal, and the city will have a tower. Verosho bashamayim, And it's the top of the tower is in the heaven above. And why we should build a city? Why we should build a tower? We should build a tower in order to make a name for ourselves, in order to make ourselves important. What does it mean? Those days, and every king, you feeling a little weak, by the way? Have a sniff. In those days, every king that felt a little bit important made himself almost like an artificial mountain or mound, whether it's King Herod that built a Herodion and so on and so forth, or a big tower in which he can go up and ascend up. And everybody, I think the building, they say, was like something like 70 stories of 70 feet or something. I mean, for those days, it's a big building. And the whole point was that the king will go up and everybody would look up how the king that was considered to be a god in those days actually goes up and he does his thing. They're almost like those pyramids in Mexico when they go up and they do sacrifice on the top of the thing, And the whole purpose of the city is to make ourselves a name. Why though heaven, that the head will be Bashamayim? Because the ultimate goal of the city, we said before, many years before, that really the purpose of the Tower of Migdal Bavel was to concentrate, or to have a focal point, to concentrate all the spiritual energy of mankind and to gather it together in such a way to rebel against HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to rebel against God. So the whole essence of building the city was to rebel against HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We should make a name for ourselves. We should make ourselves important. Why? Shema nafutz al penei kol haaretz, because we want to prevent any case, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which as they say, to mess with us, so it would spread us all over the land. How are they going to do that? He thought they're going to be able to connect all the spiritual energy towards one place and bring it up. And the idea of having it, Rosho Bashamayim, the top of the building in heaven, as I said to you before, is our job is to create a balance between heaven and earth. But it's really to break the domain of God. Why? What do we say in Hallel? Hashamayim, shamayim le'Hashem, ve'aretz natan livnei adam. He gave us the land. We don't want the land. We want the heaven as well. We want to afflict change in heaven as well, because we want to make ourselves important. What's important about that? If you look at the other city that is built later on, of course, the city of Sdom. In the city of Sdom, I don't have to tell you what's going on in the city of Sdom. They were raping men. They were raping anybody. Sexuality, all out of control in the city. Herds are not good for people. Big groups in cities. The cities are traps. If there is, God forbid, a famine somewhere and you live in a rural area, you'll manage. It'll be hard for you, but you'll manage. In a city, it becomes a catastrophe. All cities of ancient history were not good. They were either built on blood or immorality. There's only one city. The city of Yerushalayim. Oh, you're going to tell me, well, wait. Yehuda conquered Yerushalayim with a battle. You're right. But the place that was supposed to serve as a focal point of all prayers towards heaven, in harmony with heaven, which is Beit HaMikdash, the Temple Mount, was bought by David HaMelech. He did not conquer it. A place that's supposed to be served, or supposed to serve as a place to worship God, is not to be conquered or bought with blood. You buy it, you own it, you get the rights. Yerushalayim is the Temple Mount is the only place, whether it's Rome or any other place in the world, Yerushalayim is the only place. Our tefillot are geared to Yerushalayim, to Beit HaMikdash, not to overturn, God forbid, the kingdom of heaven on earth. On the contrary, we want to bring it down here. We want to create harmony. Unfortunately, the world does not recognize that. The world does not recognize that part, because whether it's the Romans that built Ilia Capitolina, the Roman city on Yerushalayim, whether it's the Mamluks or the Byzantines, or later on the Muslims who build, or the Christian who built the church that was destroyed by the Muslim to build the mosque, that until today is like a sore, like a bone in our neck. That place, and now they're boiling over that point of the Temple Mount. We just want it back. Why can't we have our temple back? Why can't we? Why didn't we give it back altogether? Right now there's a quiet intifada going on in Yerushalayim over the Temple Mount. The overall battle is going to be on that. The eternity, the end of time. As we say in Yechezkel writes this. There's going to be a battle over Yerushalayim, over the Temple Mount. I think Israel is the only country in the world which most, or if not all, of the embassies are not placed within its capital. Denying Yerushalayim as the capital of Israel, as a Jewish state, is denying God on earth. So therefore, the battle today is not about Palestinians. Palestinians, the biggest hypocrisy of human nature. They created a nation out of nothing. The Palestinians are not the problem. It's the problem against God. And since we represent that, it's a battle against us. Is it going to get better? Not so quick. It's going to get worse. Don't fall asleep with your dreams that it's all okay, nothing is better. Again, when the government tells you, don't worry, go about your own business, go ahead, then run away. Then you know it's not good. When there is a terror attack in New York, right, with a guy with an axe coming, and nobody says a word in it, and tell you Ebola, you know that something is cooking, and we got a problem. So you got to be careful. You got to be careful. You got to work on your midot better. Pay more attention to your tefillah. Go a little bit more to the country. You don't have to stay in the city. By the way, anybody's going to a hike anytime soon? Beautiful foliage. Enhance your tefillah. Try to increase ahava, love between one and another. Be polite to people, whatever they are. In the street, you walk in the street in the morning, every person that you see, Gentile or Jew, you say hello, you say good morning. That's your business. Don't be a New Yorker. Because in New York, or in the big cities of America, you see how America changed. Go outside to the rural area, go to Idaho, Indiana, go to other places, go out of the country, go to the country. You see real America. In the city corrupts the person. Because why? Because it's very easy in the city to get lost within the realm of kochi ve'otzem yadi. You walk around, all you see is buildings that men built. You don't see trees. And if they plant trees, they look like the person who planted them. They're all dead. Walk in Manhattan, all you see is building. All you see is mankind. Buildings higher and higher and higher and higher. Why you need to build so high? What's the point of this? That's exactly the point. Everybody builds a building bigger than the other for his sake, for his name. But where is God in this picture? Build flat, don't build high. There's a big country here to fill. Wouldn't it be better off if some people will go outside, let's say upstate New York, and revive that area? It would be beautiful. Why would they have to be here, stuck on Brooklyn or something, Williamsburg and all those places? Go out. Be nice. Pay attention. We are coming very close to an end. And you need supplies. You don't have supplies. The supplies that you have, it's like a bug-out bag. Your bug-out bag from the times of Mashiach is very simple. Torah u'ma'asim tovim. First Torah, then ma'asim tovim. Ma'asim tovim will be chesed, tzedakah, kindness, righteousness, setting an example. But first of all, you have to learn Torah. Rabotai, it's going to come here whether you want it or not. The question will be, are you ready or not? If that city was built on rock and roll, in other words, blood, etc., drugs, our job is to build a city on kindness, on example. Let's Shabbat ahead the Shabbos project. Wonderful event. Those who didn't partake, communities who didn't partake of that, give a testimony of themselves of what they're really worth. That's what we need to do. We need to advocate for kindness, for chesed, for morality, to support poor people, to help organizations, and to enhance and strengthen Torah. You do that, you'll make it. You don't, you won't. Have a great day.